Rushing Beat is one of those series from the Super Nintendo / Sega Genesis era I never thought would come back. I mean, they aren't exactly that popular, nor are they the most well-known games on those systems. Heck, I think the first game is really only known due to how hilariously bad the cover art is, which is why when Rushing Beat X, Return of the Brawl Brothers, try saying that 3 times fast, was announced, I didn't hear about it. Wait, what? How? I follow a lot of YouTube channels that cover these sorts of games, yet none of them talked about it. Unfortunately, that lack of publicity seems to have plagued this game post-release day. That's part of the reason why I wanted to make this video, mostly so I can try to bring some attention to Rushing Beat X, because holy crap, this game is pretty dang good. Right away, Rushing Beat X sets itself apart from a lot of other beat-em-ups I've played by having a huge emphasis on launcher combos, juggles, and frame cancels. Take for instance, if while doing the standard punch combo you press the special attack button during the combo, your character will launch the enemy in the air. Then if you mash the jump button fast enough, you can continue the combo in midair, which really lets you rack up the damage on enemies and helps get your combo up to an absurd hit counter. In a way, it almost feels like I'm playing a fighting game, as the timing on button presses really matters. The midair combos are really important. I can't stress it enough, as a lot of the time when you do one, you end up knocking down an extra enemy or two. This might not sound that important, but when you're getting mogged by 10 or so dudes, just getting a few off of you makes a huge difference. Another unique thing is that instead of having a special move that will take some of your life for using it like in a lot of other beat 'em ups, you instead have a meter that when it fills up, you can enter this mode where your character is faster and stronger. You can also get access to your special move, which uses the entire bar regardless of when you entered the mode. So you gotta watch when you use that special move and try to save it for when you're getting swarmed. Additionally, you can sacrifice this meter when you're getting swarmed by enemies to knock them all down. For anyone familiar with the Guilty Gear series, you'll probably recognize this as the burst mechanic. I mean, it's basically the same thing. You sacrifice your meter to break free from enemy attacks. This idea is implemented really well here though, and again, I haven't seen another beat 'em up do something like this. There are even freaking infinites you can do in this game. I'm crap at them, but trust me bro, they are definitely in the game. Basically what I'm getting at is that the combat has a lot of depth and nuance to it, which is good as you're going to need all those combat tools, as holy crap, this game can be pretty freaking ruthless with its difficulty. I played through the game initially on normal and then hard for this review, and jeez, come those final few stages, I was dying fairly frequently. I think a good amount of the difficulty can come from enemies like this one with the spiked shoulder pads and blonde hair. They do a ton of damage with their drop kicks, and their command throw also hits really hard and they spam it at you. Combine that with the iframes enemies get upon getting up from being knocked down, and I think you can see why I think this game is pretty tough. The graphics in Rushing Beat X are kinda odd. I like the cell shading and character designs, yet there's something a bit cheap looking to the game. I'm not saying it looks bad, I actually quite like the style on display here. I'm just saying you can kinda tell the team was likely working with a limited budget of some sorts. Despite those limitations, I do think the animations are quite nice. I love that for the character Wendy, her moves are mostly based on real pro wrestling moves. This might sound odd, but it always annoys me a bit when a character is a pro wrestler in a game, then they just make up moves for them to do. With Wendy, you get to see her do stuff like a freaking Code Red like she's 2015 John Cena, or a Tiger Suplex like she's Prime Misawa. It's really fun stuff to see. What I'm not as fine with are the occasional performance issues this game can have. I mean, a Switch 2 should definitely be able to run this game fine, so why are there occasional frame rate drops? Why can the load times be up to 30 seconds sometimes? I hope a patch or something can address a few of these problems in the future, because it's kinda disappointing to see right now. Another problem I kinda have with the game, and this might sound a bit weird, but stick with me here, I find the game to be perhaps a bit too long for its own good. This might sound odd, but I personally find beat 'em ups to be at their best when they're only an hour, maybe an hour and a half long. I mean, mine and a lot of other people's favorite beat 'em up ever is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. And that game is only about an hour long. Heck, it's even shorter if you get a 1 credit clear on it. Meanwhile, Rushing Beat X has taken me about 3, maybe 4 hours to beat on both of my playthroughs. While I find the stages and boss fights interesting and the game mechanics are extremely fun, I certainly was never bored while I was playing the game, which tends to be the sign of a game that overstayed its welcome. In the back of my mind though, I'm often hearing the phrase, a longer game is not always a better game, especially when I was doing that second playthrough. A feature I found interesting was the way how weapons and food are handled in Rushing Beat X. Instead of being one-time use items, they instead go into an inventory storage. This adds a layer of resource management to the game, which is really cool to see. So Rushing Beat X is a really fun beat 'em up which does a lot to separate itself from its peers. However, some performance issues and perhaps being a bit too long hold it back from all-time classic status. I still think this game is worth picking up though if you're a fan of beat 'em ups and are just looking for something new to play. That's gonna do it for today's video though. Let me know what you think about Rushing Beat X in the comments below. Also, while you're there, please like the video, comment and subscribe for more. Until next time you guys, peace.